Drafted 38th overall in the 2014 draft, he celebrated his 500th career game in the NHL this past season. He was traded to the Canucks on January 31st and signed a 6-year extension less than a week later. He scored 3 goals for Sweden last year at the World Championships and is back playing for his country at this year's tournament. Marcus Pettersson joins us on the Canucks Insider podcast today, and we'll start there. Marcus, you got 3 more goals in you for this tournament this year?
Yeah, we're 3 games in, so hopefully I got 3 more. Hopefully, none so far. So we'll see. We try to win every game, and it doesn't matter who scores, but hopefully 3 more out.
What's it like for you just getting a chance to do it on home soil? I know you guys are in Stockholm for your portion of the World Championships. What does it mean to you, and what are kind of the advantages of getting a chance to do it in your home country?
It means a lot. This is my, I think, 4th World Championship now, I think. I played a few. We played Czech in the semifinals last year in their home country, and you could just see the support. And when I got the chance to play on home ice and in front of the Swedish country and the people, it was a no-brainer. And so far, it's been really good. The support has been amazing. Close to family, even though it's an hour flight away, they get a chance to come over a little later and see some games. So it's been amazing so far.
So what's the biggest difference between a North American crowd and a Swedish crowd? Because I've watched a lot of SHL games, especially the playoffs. Like I see fireworks, I see things popping off. Like the chants are pretty cool out there in Sweden. What's the biggest difference you see here at the World Championships compared to the NHL?
Yeah, it's probably that. Just the chants and stuff like that. We got drums going, like the soccer ultras. I know the MLS and the Whitecaps have a good following. So it's kind of similar to that. We have like one of the sites in the rink call it the Yellow Wall here in Sweden, and they've been great so far. And probably that. You just have the drums and the chants going there in the game.
It's pretty awesome. The team that you guys have put together, there are a lot of strong NHLers, and just wanted to get your thoughts. You guys are 3-0 to start this tournament. You guys had a tight one against Finland. But how's the team playing so far, and what do you like about just getting together with this group of guys?
It's been great. Like you said, it's we have an unbelievable setup of players, and we've had some tight games. We played a back-to-back this weekend. Kind of the jitters got out of the way, and had a tight one against Austria too. That we sneaked one out at the end. So 3-0 feels good. I think we played our best game so far against the Finns yesterday, and even though it was a tight one, it was healthy for us to kind of go through a little bit of stress like that at the end. They had a good push, but like I said, I thought we played our best game, and we're building each game at a time. It's always tough to have a short kind of runway before you get to meaningful games, and you want to get off to good a start as you can. And we're 3-0, and we got things to work on, and it's looking good so far.
So I think like a lot of Canadians and Vancouver fans will know just kind of like the rivalry between Sweden and Finland from just watching the World Juniors or the Olympics or even the World Championships if they're tuning in. How big is that game, especially being in Stockholm? Like, what was it like in a tight game against the Finns, kind of one of your guys' rivals?
Yeah, it's huge. I think everybody on this team has grown up playing the Finns and the national team, the junior national team and stuff like that, all the way from under 16 to now. So it's deeply rooted. You see the history of the games that has been played between the Finns and the Swedes, and obviously the proudest moment in Swedish hockey history is the Olympic gold medal there in Turin, the recent one, where we beat the Finns. So it's a deeply rooted kind of rivalry, and it's always fun to play. Both teams always show up to play in those games. It doesn't matter how either team is playing; both teams always show up in those games. So it's one of those games you get up for, and the atmosphere in Avicii Arena here was unbelievable, and we managed to get the crowd behind us, and we'll keep doing that.
What kind of memories do you have just growing up watching like Sweden play at World Championships or just at like the international level? Do you have anything that sticks out just when you were a kid growing up watching Sweden at all?
I would say that the Olympics, '06 there in Italy. I remember that the last minute there, the commentators in Swedish, and winning that gold medal. That's probably one that sticks out for me, especially playing the Finns, like I said. So I'm gonna have to go with that one.
So you might end up matching up with USA a little bit later on. You got a couple of Canucks teammates playing there with Drew O'Connor, who you've played with for half a decade at this point,
Yeah.
and Connor Garland as well. What's it like? Like you've experienced this before at World Championships, like playing against a teammate. Like I gotta
Yeah.
think it's kind of. Do you get to have some fun? Is it like intense? Like what's it like, kind of going into a matchup against an NHL teammate?
Yeah, it is intense. It's a lot of fun, but it is intense. You play for your country, and you want to win for your country. And even though you know each other, it's no friends on game day when you play those guys. So we have a chuckle after and stuff like that. But I mean, we are where we are because of our competitiveness and our ability to play. So when we play, it's all out. But it's a lot of fun to play against teammates. You go. Hopefully, you can know some tricks that they do. They like to do some tendencies and stuff like that. But I mean, played against Phil in the pre-tournament we had here, so that was a lot of fun. So like I said, we're all competitive and want to win for our country. So no teammates on game days, right?
One of the things I noticed from talking to a bunch of the Swedes on the final day when you guys were still here in Vancouver was all of them were excited for something called kebab pizza. So
Yeah.
have you had that? Was that the first thing that you got when you landed in Sweden? Because all the Swedes that I talked to, they're like, I'm getting that as soon as I land in Stockholm.
I did actually. I think the second day, me and my wife ordered the roll, the kind of pizza roll that you roll up and there's kebab in there and the sauce and everything. So I'm gonna have to say that I did that too. Yes.
So I need to know, like, what's the sauce on that pizza then? I assume it's not like a tomato sauce, right? It's got to be something different.
I think there is a tomato sauce too. Like you make a normal pizza, right, and then you roll it up. At least the kebab roll or kebab sandwich, like you can call it. It's kind of a white sauce. I think it has some special ingredients. I couldn't tell you, but it's not like a garlic sauce, but it's more just a white sauce. But most pizzerias have probably a secret ingredient to their own. So I couldn't make one myself if that's what you're asking.
No, it's better to go out for dinner anyways.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wanted to ask a little bit about your off season as well. I know something you must be really excited about is just getting a bunch of time with your son. I know with how crazy the season is during the hockey year. Just your excitement, I guess, for the summer and just getting a chance to spend so much time with your son. I assume here over the summertime.
Yeah, and my son and the rest of the family that lives back home in Sweden. And my wife's family, her sister lives neighbors to us. So, just kind of get that. Like you say, in the season you travel so much and you're away from them so much that you miss a lot of things, especially at this age. I mean, he's 2 right now, so I feel like every time you're away, it's kind of a milestone. You miss something.
Mm-hmm.
So, just spend time with my family is going to be great, and obviously try to get better over their summer. But just to spend time with them is going to be awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I saw a video of his backhand. He's got a pretty wicked backhand. How much
does.
does he love hockey? Is that just kind of like his thing? Is he obsessed with it, or what's his level of like just loving the game?
All sports so far has been pretty fun. He loves balls, and we bought him a badminton racket the other day. He liked that too. So all sports really, but hockey's probably one of the favorite ones. Yeah, we got to figure out what hand he is though. Like you said, he's got a backhand. He holds it lefty, but he likes to shoot it righty. So we have to figure it out.
How much fun has that been? Just getting to experience being a father. I know it's something that you've been doing for a couple of years now, but just how much joy does that bring to your life right now, Marcus?
Oh, so much. And perspective too. I think since I got him, I can honestly say I've been a better hockey player for it. A better human overall. Brings so much joy. Like I said, perspective too to things in life that are most important for me. That's family. So it brings a lot of perspective. And like I said, summer times are nice. You can you don't have to miss all the milestones that you do during the season, especially during the first 2 years here. So, um, yeah, looking forward to watching him grow even more, and um, yeah, just looking forward to the summer.
So I'm 2 months away from having my first child. My son's going to be
Oh,
here.
really?
So I'm just curious.
Congratulations! Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. What I need to ask you is like, what's the advice I need for those first few months? Like, what's the best piece of advice that you received, or how would you pass that off to me? I mean, I got a
Uh,
lot changing here in a couple months.
yeah, for sure. No, just enjoy it. I think help your wife out as much as you can. They've been caring and doing doing the groundwork before, so help out as much as you can, and sleep while you can.
Yeah,
That's an advice that I got.
I've heard the sleep advice quite a
Yeah,
bit here. It's
yeah.
just get it
Sleep
when
when
you
you
can.
can, not when you have to. So, yeah, it's honestly such a whirlwind, and such a big change in your life. I mean, I was nervous when we first got our son, and I know my wife was too. But um, yeah, you go through it and you realize it's one of the most powerful things in the world that can happen to you. So, um, yeah, cherish every moment because it goes by fast.
Yeah, yeah, very excited for it. Moving on to the Canucks a little bit here. You come in here and it's such a young group. There's so much talent, and I have to imagine that just looking at the way the season went last year, like you weren't here for the whole year, but you got to see kind of how the reaction was to everyone at the end of the year, and not making the playoffs seemed to be quite a hit. So for you guys, having so much talent but being so young, how do you kind of view the next step for you guys, and how do you kind of accomplish that? Is that something that you talked about at the end of the year at all, or is it something that's just kind of established in everyone's mind on wanting to get that next step?
Well, this established, but we did talk about it too, and I mean, the year before, I at least watched most of the games that in that playoff run against Nashville and Edmonton, and I think that fire that we got to build inside our room, and um, I think the taste that everybody got for how the city rallied around the team during the playoffs. That was real cool to see, even from afar. I can't imagine how it was being there. So, um, yeah, just finding that fire. Like I said, getting better over the summer. It's past us now, and all we can do is look forward. Um, like I said, build a fire, build um, kind of a revenge season for us to get back on the horse. And um, we have so much talent, like you said. So find that fire and um, get a taste for it again.
What do you think the most important thing is then, like for a young group to? I mean, does that fire just motivate everyone? Like, do you feel like there's going to be quite a little bit of a change maybe from last year, especially just guys experiencing that, going through it? Everybody wants to be in the playoffs, and
Yeah,
and a lot of the people that were here in Vancouver, like you mentioned, like this city is unreal in
yeah,
playoff hockey, and it's so much fun. Like, I have to assume that the motivation from everyone is just so high right now to get back to next season.
it is so high. So, um, like I said, we went through a lot last year. Everybody did, even before I got there too, and um, with everything like that, I'm positive that we learned a lot from last year, and you can look at last year and kind of wash it away, or you can look at it and find the positives, find the things that you can learn from. The season is going to have ups and downs too. Um, Stay as even keel as we can, and um, go out there and win every game as if it's the last one. So um, that's all you can do, really. Not season is so long, like I said, ups and downs. So um, yeah, just look at the game in front of you, the shift in front of you, and um, we got a great group and a lot of talent. So that competitiveness that we have and the fire that we have to bring it back to the playoffs is going to be huge motivation. But like I said, ups and downs are going to happen. Um, it's a matter of getting the downs as high as possible, and the highs keep them even keel. Like I said,
For sure. And I think just for, personally for you, like you've never made it past the first round of the playoffs as well. So just
exactly.
like
Yeah,
the motivation that you must have, now that you have 500 plus games, you've been in the league for 9 years, just as an individual, what is your motivation to, go on one of these deep playoff runs? Because you haven't really experienced yet at the NHL level.
no, I haven't, and you see the teams going through right now, and the yeah, you get jealous. You for sure do. You see, like I said, watching from afar how Vancouver was, the people around the team, how it was during the playoffs. I think it's motivation enough, really. Like I said, I haven't been there, and I want to be there, and hopefully we can get there. But um, one thing I have learned during my 500 games is, like I said, season's gonna have its up and downs, and um, keep it even keel, and look at the next game, the next shifts, and don't look too far ahead.
Wanted to ask a little bit about your summer skates that you do over there as well in Skellefteå with,
Yeah,
I think Nils Höglander mentioned he was there, Linus Karlsson is there. How many guys, how many NHLers are at these skates up there for you guys?
we have a few. Adam Larson is there. Philip Gustafsson, goalie from Minnesota. Victor Arvidsson's from there too. Um, so we have a few guys. Sebastian Aho in Pittsburgh is a good friend of mine, and he's there. Um, Anton Lindholm used to be in the league, and he's in Switzerland right now. So we've got a good group of guys. Belmar is usually there. Pierre Edouard, he's in Switzerland right now too. So we have a good group, and yeah, we work hard. I'm looking forward to seeing all the guys again, and working hard with them, like I said, and getting better.
I also wanted to ask, just getting a chance to work with the Sedins, like growing up in Sweden, I'm sure you watched them a lot and saw the
Yeah.
things that they were able to do. Now that you got a chance to kind of get to know them a little bit more and work with them on the daily, what was it like just working with Daniel and Henrik?
Oh, it was awesome. Couldn't tell them apart, but it was awesome. No, but the minds they have for the game is, you knew it was good, but when you meet them and kind of get to pick their brain, it's an unbelievable thing to see. And like you said, they've nice for bringing them up, because last time it was in Stockholm, the World Championship, they came home and won it all. So yeah, just their chemistry, and the way they think the game is unmatched. So yeah, it was nice to kind of pick their brain, and seeing how good of a people they were too.
Mm. And something that I think a lot of Canucks fans like to see was you coming in and being kind of like a counterbalance to Quinn Hughes on that defense in the top four. You know, Quinn brings so much offensively, and Canucks fans loved watching you just be able to shut things down. For you to kind of round out a top four there with Quinn, what's that like just as a defense partner, as you guys kind of on the left side there being that 1-2 punch?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm more of a defensive mindset guy, and um, I've always throughout my career like to think defense first, and be reliable, be a guy that the coach trusts to put out there all the time. So um, yeah, I try to just do my thing, and um, play my game, really, not try too much or anything like that. And um, somebody said sometime that if I'm unnoticeable in a game, I've had a good game. So I'm gonna try to stick by that. And yeah, just to see Quinn firsthand was was really something. I mean, you see all the highlights and stuff like that. And, we didn't meet them much during the year, only 2 times every year, but with Pittsburgh. But um, always when you see a guy like that, when you're on the bench and you see him work the blue line, or stuff like that, it was amazing to see. And um, a lot of similarities there with Crosby too, who I play with, the competitive fire that he has to win every day, and um, how much of a difference maker he wants to be. Um, I mean, he carries us, and he wants to carry us. So um, it was amazing to see him.
That's awesome. And we'll wrap up on this one. I did want to ask, just because I think a lot of Canucks fans were quite shocked with kind of how quickly Elias Pettersson, the defenseman, developed this past season. He comes in the AHL pretty much as a rookie and gets to NHL games. I just wanted to get your thoughts on like a defenseman like that coming up at 20 years old and kind of immediately having that success. And I guess what I wanted to kind of ask you is like, what does a defenseman need to do in that spot to be able to continue that success? Because sometimes it can be a flash in the pan and maybe
Yeah,
comfortable. For him, what do you think is the next step for him? And how impressed were you with the 20-year-old last year?
I was really impressed. Just the no fear in his game. He's a guy that he's such an athletic skater, and a powerful skater. Um, Powerful athlete overall. But just to see him go out there with no fear, and play his game was awesome to see. I think whenever a young defenseman kind of gets a little flustered, like you said, or um, stuff like that. They kind of don't want to be out there, per se, if you know what I mean. Like he doesn't want to hide out there. He wants to be out there. He wants to be out there in every situation, and he's striving to be a guy that's relied upon in every situation. So just to see him go out there with no fear was amazing to see, and really pushing everybody else. I think whenever a young guy comes in and plays with no fear and plays hard, I think it drives everybody else forward too.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Marcus, I appreciate you taking some time today and chatting here on the Canucks Insider podcast. And I think you'll start to learn pretty quickly that Vancouver starts to cheer for Sweden at these tournaments. So we're all rooting for you.
All right.
And we'll enjoy watching the rest of the tournament. Best of the luck to you as you kind of wrap up here. So thanks for taking some time.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Born in Chatham, New Jersey, he went undrafted and signed with the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2020 after 2 years in the NCAA with Dartmouth College. He has played in 241 NHL games over his 6-year career and was traded to the Vancouver Canucks on January 31st. He is currently playing for Team USA at the World Championships. He is Drew O'Connor, and he joins us today on the Canucks Insider Podcast.
Joining us now, Drew O'Connor wraps up his first season with the Vancouver Canucks after getting traded. I guess just looking back at the last little bit of the season, what was it like coming in here and just kind of learning the Vancouver market and seeing what it was like to play in front of these fans?
Yeah, it was cool. I think I kind of got a taste of it when Marcus and I arrived at the airport for the first time when we kind of got here, and everyone was kind of super excited. They saw we had the hockey bags with us, so a lot of people saying hi to us, and it was pretty cool just kind of getting that welcome right to the city right away. And then since then, it's been great playing in front of the fans, and I've really enjoyed the city.
That's awesome. And just kind of getting a chance to take in that fan base and see their passion for the sport. How much do you see that when you're playing in a game and just kind of experiencing just the crowd and everything that comes with it when you guys are actually in the action there?
Yeah, you feel it for sure. I think in the games you notice it, just how loud the crowd can get. That they get real excited when we're scoring goals and winning games. So I think it's a really fun city to play in, especially when we're winning.
From a player's perspective, how much does that affect the day-to-day, or just like when you're playing? Like, just from your point of view, having such a fan base be engaged like that, what's that like? Just knowing that the support, I guess, you get, or kind of how important it is to these people who are taking in the game.
Yeah. I think it's the whole feel of you show up to the rink before a game and you see how many people are kind of outside the building, waiting for the game. I think it just kind of builds the excitement of for players that how much they care and how much they're excited to kind of support us. So I think it comes from within the game, but also just before you kind of get there, and the whole feel around a game day, I think is pretty cool.
It's awesome. I think getting a chance to kind of look back at your season, you played 84 games, which is a wild thought. Did you ever think you'd be playing 84 games, and how were you able to stay healthy and play more than what a regular team would actually play in?
Yeah, fortunately it was healthy for the whole year, and obviously you always want to play 82, so it was cool to kind of get those extra two. It didn't really feel much different than 82, I guess, but yeah, it's a cool number to have.
That's awesome. Looking back at your year, how do you kind of evaluate it? Looking back, were there things that you kind of now can take into the off season, or is it even at the point now where you can kind of look back and review everything? Yeah, like how do you feel playing in 84 games went for you?
Yeah, I think there's definitely some things I want to improve upon in the off season. I think being a more consistent player is kind of a big thing for me, and just trying to find that stability throughout the year. It's tough when you play a lot of games to find that consistency, but that's a big thing for me. And I think just finding a way to kind of improve on some things. I mean, I think that for me, the year didn't necessarily go as well as I had hoped personally. So I think there's a lot of motivation to kind of build on some of those things in the offseason and come in next year ready to go.
It seems like your game, and you've talked about this, and we've talked about this actually in past interviews, but just your game is built off of the speed and kind of using your size as well. So I guess how do you approach an off season if those are your two things? Like, is it all about just getting bigger and stronger for you, or how to use that speed and size? Like, I'm curious how your off season looks and how your prep to come back next year even better is.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a bunch of things. I mean, I think you don't necessarily focus on just one thing in the off season, but for me, making sure my body's healthy and that I'm getting a lot of work in the gym and continuing to improve my strength. I think that helps with my speed, and then on ice, I think has to be a big focus for me this summer. Just working on things like my scoring touch, working on wall plays and being able to kind of pull pucks off the wall and make plays. I think that's going to be a bigger focus for me this summer, and just thinking of how to improve my playmaking a little bit more. I think can be a big thing for me.
Speaking of scoring touch, your first couple games, penalty shot, overtime. Take me through what's going on in your mind. You're on a new team here. You got a penalty shot in overtime. Like, it must be pretty kind of thrown to the wolves here a little bit, but then you score and you guys get the winner. What was that like, kind of being like, hey, I'm Drew, nice to meet you. I'm here in a penalty shot in overtime.
It was cool. I mean, that was I think that was my first overtime goal. So, and it was cool being out there and getting that. But it's funny because I had a penalty shot against the Sharks a week before that. It was my first penalty shot, and I didn't score on that one. So it's nice that I got it. Yeah. Good introduction to the team with that goal.
And I think parts of your game that you developed over the past couple of years and getting more ice time, it feels like, is on the penalty kill and just having that be a part of your game. Obviously, your combination of speed and size really has to help you in that regard. How do you kind of approach the penalty kill and like just making improvements on it? Because I feel like there's so much talk about when you're shorthanded, like a lot of it is the system. And I think we see so many different systems around the NHL, team by team. It's such a different way of attacking, when you are down on the penalty kill. So for yourself, how do you kind of make that approach to fit in with the team and really like find a role to be able to contribute on the penalty kill?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that's helped me. I think it kind of helped me establish myself in Pittsburgh a little bit more. It helps you kind of get some more ice time, get out there, and then, the coaches see you out there a little bit more and they start to have a little more trust in you. So I think it's helped me in that regard, and I think it's important. It's a big part of games is killing penalties, and fortunately here we had a really good PK, and I think like I said, the system really worked well for us, and we had the personnel, I think, to kind of help. But yeah, I mean, I think in terms of how to approach it, I think for me, like you said, like using my speed and reach, I think that can be those are kind of the assets I can use as a penalty killer.
And seeing the way the penalty kill improved throughout the season, how much is chemistry involved in a penalty kill? Because it feels like, it looked like it was Teddy and Puce always taken to the ice to start, and you kind of get to develop chemistry throughout the year. How important is that for a penalty killing team?
Yeah, it's big. I think I was out there with Woody a ton, I think. So we're always talking about what we can do, up the ice in zone and things. So I think when you're out there with one guy a lot, then it helps build that consistency.
And we saw you get some time with Kiefer as well, and Dak a little bit as well. I have to ask, because like when the momentum gets rolling and you're one of these guys as well, when like the hits start flowing, how much fun is it like finishing a shift where you just like, you guys close out like 5 hits on a shift as a line? What's it like when you come back to the bench? Like, what is the excitement level? Or for me, I'm watching, I'm like, man, that must have been a lot of fun what you guys just did the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, Woody's clocking in about 5 every shift. So it's fun. I think you can kind of feel the energy building, especially at home when you have kind of those momentum shifts, and that's that can be a big part of kind of turning the tide of a game. So I think it's important to realize even if you're not really scoring, then there's still other ways to impact the game, and that's kind of one of them.
That's cool. Making the jump here to Vancouver, getting traded for the first time, like to go back to that day when you heard, what's the process like when you're like getting traded? Because I mean, it's something you've never gone through in your career before. Like the only thing you've had is like from the AHL to the NHL at that point.
Right.
What was it like? Like just kind of going through that, probably week, I assume, was probably just a whirlwind, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was. I wouldn't say it was completely unexpected, but it's still kind of, when I got the call, I was a little thrown off. Obviously, it's a bit of a shock, I think. So I think I got the call late. Maybe we had a game the next day, so it was late at night, and then we got on a plane the next day, got in late, and then played the day after. So we kind of got thrown in pretty quickly, but I think that was the best way to do it. Not too much thinking, and after that, just kind of figured it out slowly here.
What about to come over with Marcus and see what he's been able to kind of do to a room and just be really involved with this team and be such a leader? What was it like coming over with him and having him be part of this? Like, you're with him coming here to Vancouver.
Yeah, no, I think that definitely helped ease the transition a lot. He was an awesome locker room guy in Pittsburgh, a leader there as well. But I think he's really kind of embraced his role here as someone that can kind of fill in as a leader, speak up when needed, and I think he's been awesome for the group here.
And speaking of leaders, your captain, Quinn Hughes, we see what he can do to impact a game every night. But from a player's perspective and kind of not necessarily a follower, but he's your captain and you want to kind of follow what he's doing. How much does he impact you guys on a day-to-day as a captain of this team?
I think it's huge. I think you see how hard he works and how bad he wants to win. And I think it can be contagious. And I think I would say I didn't watch a ton of Canucks games before, just being on the East Coast. But since I've gotten here, you realize how talented he is, how much he has the puck during the game, how much he wants the puck, and I think that can rub off on guys in a positive way.
And anybody in this group kind of helped you find some parts of your game as well? I know you're guys out there and working a lot before practice as well. You spend some same guys, whether it's a coach or another player. Is there anybody that's kind of you found some chemistry with in terms of development almost?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've played with a lot of different guys since I've been here, just as line mates. So, but obviously played the last little stretch with Ted, and I think he was good to play with. Like he's a reliable player. He's consistent. You kind of know what you're getting out of him. So. There's been a lot of guys I think that I can kind of take little parts of their games from, and you try to do that a lot. I think as much as you can, see what guys do well and try to take those things from them.
Yeah. What's something you need to accomplish this summer as you head into your off season here? What's something that you need to get done this off season for yourself?
I think for me, building my confidence in myself and my game, I think is the biggest thing, and being able to maintain that throughout a season. So I think it's something I'm going to continue to work on throughout the summer. But I think trying to maintain that level of confidence when things aren't going well, I think that can be a big thing that can help boost my game.
I think that's an interesting topic to dive into, because I think it's something that you can do it yourself or you can bring someone in to help you. Like, how are you going to approach that this offseason? How is that something that you want to work on?
Yeah. I think I've kind of done it both ways in the past, where you try to talk to people, see what kind of methods work and how they can help you out. And, I try to read some things about it, read books and stuff like that can help with the mental part of the game, because I think it's a huge aspect of it. You can have everything going well and then a few bad shifts and then you're kind of down in the dumps a little bit. So it can be an easy thing to lose and a hard thing to get back, and you kind of want it to be the other way around. You want it to come back a little easier. So I think there's some ways to work on that.
Do you think that just comes with maturing? Like, at 18, 19, you're just trying to get in there and play, but now you kind of add the mental side of it, and that's kind of where you unlock the next part of your game, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's maturing, but I also think you have to be kind of diligent and embrace it, and you have to kind of want to improve upon it. It's not something that just comes from being in the league for a little while. It's something you have to continuously work at, I think. Yeah.
And speaking of when you were a teenager, NCAA, they're bringing in like all the CHL guys now. What do you think of that for what the NCAA hockey is going to look like in the next little bit here? Like, you're going to get a lot of these guys from the WHL, OHL, Q. Like, right. The fact that they're jumping in, I feel like NCAA hockey is going to change quite a bit over the next couple of years on how the pace is going to be in that league.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I mean, I don't really know how it'll affect the landscape. I think that kind of remains to be seen, but it'll be cool. I think you're going to end up with a lot of high-end talent in college hockey, which I think is kind of what they're looking for. So I think it's great for your kids that they can go play in CHL and then still get the college experience. I would tell everyone, I'm biased obviously, but I would tell everyone to go to college, and I think it's a better experience. But if you can kind of get both, I think that's awesome.
How did college hockey help prepare you for pro? Because I know that like playing on the weekends and getting so much practice during the week is the thing I hear about a lot. But pro is so different, where you're playing every second day. So I'm curious, like what the NCAA really helped you kind of develop your game and get ready for pro, because the schedule's really different. But what are the things that the NCAA and playing college hockey helps a guy develop for that next level?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like the schedule's really different. So I think, and you don't play as many games, but I think you're in the weight room a lot. You're practicing a lot and you're developing those skills. So for me, I think it helped a ton, just because you're getting so many practices in, and you're kind of working on all those little parts of your game that can help translate to being a good pro player. So it is a learning curve once you get to pro, just because the schedule is so different and you have to find those pockets of time to continue to work on little things in your game, just because you're playing so much. So there's a learning curve from it, but I think college helped me a ton.
That's awesome. When you look at your off season, what do your workout groups look like? Like, how many pros are you getting with? Are you a solo guy? Like, what's the summer look like for working out with guys?
Yeah, I usually like to have a group of maybe one or two other guys with a trainer, and then but within a bigger group, like there's more guys in the gym. But I kind of like having a smaller group that you can kind of push each other. So yeah, that'll be kind of the setup for the summer.
That's awesome. And I guess just away from the rink, what are some things you enjoy during the summer? Like we haven't really got a chance to dive in with this, like on like what you like to do to kind of just in the downtime. What's the summer look like for you when you're getting a chance to relax a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the answer everyone says, obviously, but a lot of golf. So I'm trying to get more into golf. My swing is not there where it needs to be, but I'm working on it. So hopefully I can continue to improve that. But yeah, just doing a bunch of different stuff. I mean, I think I enjoy the summer. I enjoy doing a lot of outdoor stuff. And then I'm I'm actually taking a cooking class this summer.
Wow.
A little 6-week course to try to work on my cooking skills. So hopefully it pays off.
So for the cooking class, are you looking to go from like bad to good, or are you like good to great? Like where are you at on the level of cooking?
I would say definitely not good to great, but I can whip up a couple things, but nothing too crazy. But hopefully this will help me.
That's awesome. Any vacation ideas for the summer here? Like, is there anywhere you want to get to, or is there a favorite spot that maybe in the future you want to get to? Like any travel destination that kind of sticks out to you is like, you just want to go see what it's like over there?
Yeah, I mean, I try to get down to South Carolina every year. My brother lives down there, and my sister as well. So try to go visit down there when I can. I'm actually going to play in the World Championships this year, so go over to Europe for a bit and enjoy the time over there, and then might have one more trip to Europe later in the summer for a wedding of a teammate in Czech. So a little bit of a busy summer, but yeah, it'll be fun.
That's awesome. When you look back at this year away from the ice, what was a favorite memory for you? Whether it could have been in Vancouver, could have been Pittsburgh. Like, what was your favorite kind of off-ice memory, just playing hockey this past season?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Just like any off-ice. I mean, I think just hanging out with the guys and going to dinners is one of the best things to do. I think that's like you go on the road and you get a good group together and can kind of hang out and get to know everyone. I think that's the best way to kind of become close to the team. So that's been a fun way here to kind of get to know everyone.
Yeah. Well, Drew, appreciate you jumping on the pod here. Appreciate you having here. Have a good rest of the summer. Enjoy those, World Championships. Should be a lot of fun for you to participate in. A couple of weddings as well. So thanks for taking the time, and we'll have to do this again next season.
Yeah, sounds good. Awesome. All right. Thanks, you.
Drew.